The Indiana Fever take down a depleted Phoenix Mercury and defeat them 95-86. Now, this game happened at Gainbridge Arena in a Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. And from the get-go, this Indiana team, it looked like they had the game. The reason why it looked like they had the game is because this Phoenix Mercury team, as I said earlier, they were depleted. They were absolutely depleted. You had Charisma Osborne out, Suge Sutton out, Natasha Cloud out, Dinah Taurasi out. So you came into this game with 7 healthy players for the Phoenix Mercury. In the second quarter, Kalia Copper runs into Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner gets out for the rest of the game. So Brittany Griner only played 11 minutes in this game. She went out of the game in the second quarter, never came back. So basically, this Phoenix Mercury team played the majority of this game with only 6 players. Only 6 players. You had Kiki Herbert Harrigan, aka Mad Kiki, who got the start. She actually played pretty well. She had 10 points, 7 rebounds in this game. Brittany Griner, as I said earlier, she only played 11 minutes because she did get hurt. She finished the game with 4 points. Kalia freaking Copper is Kalia freaking Copper. She was absolutely fantastic, especially in that fourth quarter. This game was a complete blowout in the first half. Complete blowout. The Indiana Fever were absolutely dominating. They at one point they were winning by 31 points in this game. At one point they were winning by 31 points in Indiana Fever, completely destroying this Phoenix Mercury team. And then Kalia Copper basically single-handedly tried to get this team back to really making this game. Kalia freaking Copper went off in the third and fourth quarter. She ultimately finishes this game with 36 points. She was trying to do her best. She was trying to do her best, get into the free throw line, making tough basket after tough basket after tough basket. She did all she could. KFC did her thing, but it was not enough at all. It was not enough of a run at all for Phoenix to actually pull off the win. They did get the game down to a 6-point game. And at one point, I do believe it was a 4-point game for a hot second in that fourth quarter. And again, a lot of that was done through Kalia Copper. For the rest of the Phoenix Mercury team, Sophie Cunningham actually played a lot of minutes today, and she played well. She had 21 points in this game, 4 assists, I should say, 6 rebounds. She did her thing. They needed her to score, and she hit a lot of 3-pointers. She hit 5 3-pointers in this game to try to make something happen to this game. Something happened for the Phoenix Mercury to try to help them win. But clearly it was not enough. It was not enough. Natasha Mack played a lot of minutes. She played a lot of minutes because, again, Brittany Griner went out injured. So Natasha Mack has played 30 minutes. She ended up with 10 points, almost a double-double, 10 points, 9 rebounds. I thought she played pretty well. She was getting severely out-rebounded. There were a lot of times where I saw the posts for Indiana get rebounds over Natasha Mack. And guys, rebounding was a big issue all game for the Phoenix Mercury, I should say. They were out-rebounded. They only had 30 rebounds in this game, and the Indiana Fever had 42 rebounds. Severely out-rebounded. Also, Celeste Taylor played a lot of minutes. She was just signed to a 7-day contract this morning. She was signed to a 7-day contract. As you all know, she was previously waived by the Indiana Fever. She played in this game. And Celeste Taylor, I thought Celeste played well. Yes, at times she did get cooked at times. She did get cooked on defense against Caitlin Clark. But considering this girl has not played in forever, and again, I'm grading on a scale. So when I say the word well, remember I'm kind of grading on a scale because she hasn't been with a team in a long time. She did only have 1 point in this game, but she did have 5 assists, 2 steals in this one, 3 rebounds. So I would say it's a positive game for her, though she was getting cooked on defense at times by Caitlin Clark. Now that's sort of a look at the losers of the game, the Phoenix Mercury. Now let's kind of talk about the Indiana Fever. Now the way this game started, this Indiana Fever team looked unstoppable in the first quarter. In the first quarter alone, we saw Caitlin Clark, who she actually tied a Fever record for the most assists in franchise history. She had 13 assists in this game. She had 7 assists in that first quarter alone. 7. And what was Caitlin Clark doing? She's passing the ball really, really well, finding Kelsey Mitchell cutting to the basket, finding Aaliyah Boston. Like, that's her bag. Getting the ball to, the other 2 stars on the team, Kelsey and Aaliyah. And Caitlin was doing that masterfully. Kelsey Mitchell was absolutely dominating in that first quarter. They look good. They look really, really, really good in that first quarter. And it really felt like there was nothing that the Mercury could do to really stop them. At the end of the first quarter, the Indiana Fever were leading. They were leading 28-16. And yes, they had a real offense. They had a real offense with a lot of cutting, a lot of movement. And the Fever were taking advantage of a very depleted Phoenix Mercury team that did not have, a ton of defense. They didn't. Guys, remember, again. I want to say this again. This Phoenix Mercury team only had 7 players dressed today, and only 6 players played the majority of the game due to Brittany Griner getting hurt in that second quarter. And in that first half, we saw in that first quarter and in that second quarter, we saw this Phoenix Mercury team get cooked by the Indiana Fever, and we saw fantastic basketball by Indiana Fever. They were taking advantage of what Phoenix was giving them. Phoenix turnovers, bad shots, bad decisions, and Indiana was taking advantage of it every single time. And they were doing a very, very good job at it. A very, very good job at it. At one point in this game, it was, as I would say in Mortal Kombat, it was total domination. Absolutely total domination. They were winning by 20 points at one point. At one point, they were winning by as many as 31 points in this game. It was spectacular. Points in the paint for the Indiana Fever, 60. The reason why is because so many cuts to the basket. It wasn't just the post players who were eating for the Indiana Fever. Yes, Aaliyah Boston played well. She had 21 points in this game. Nalissa Smith played well. She had 14 points in this game. But it wasn't just them that was scoring in the paint. It was also Kelsey Mitchell. It was also Caitlin Clark blowing by her defender, getting to the paint and scoring. This Indiana team completely hooked the Phoenix Mercury in the paint. 60 points in the paint. 60 of their 95 points today for the Indiana Fever was in the paint. That's a lot of points in the paint. For the Phoenix Mercury, they only had 28. And again, probably a lot of the reason for the confidence for the Indiana Fever getting into the paint was because Brittany Griner was out. She was out. So, hey, when she's out, Natasha Mack, sure, she can do something in the post, but like Natasha Mack is not that big of a defensive threat compared to Brittany Griner. So, that's a huge difference. Huge difference. But I would say fantastic basketball for this Indiana Fever team for, I would say 2.5 quarters. 2.5 quarters, fantastic play. All right, that entire first half for a decent amount of that third quarter as well. But they started to lessen their impact as we got into the fourth quarter. Because the fourth quarter, this Indiana Fever team, they were getting cooked. At one point, they had only had 4 points in that fourth quarter, and the Phoenix Mercury were scoring with like 19 points at one point, and it was like 19-4 in that fourth quarter in terms of scoring. This Indiana team, this high octane offense that Indiana provides, the high octane offense that is Caitlin Clark running the floor, passing it down to usually Kelsey Mitchell, who's like cherry picking or something, getting either a wide open 3 or a awesome layup. That was the first half. That was part of the third quarter. And then we went into the fourth quarter. We saw Caitlin Clark get taken off as the she's still in the game, but she was taken off as the primary um, primary ball handler, and Erica Wheeler came in and was running the point. Kelsey Mitchell went to the bench, and all of a sudden, Copper started making some baskets, and it started to whittle down, and that what once was a 31-point lead dwindled all the way down to 6 points. And so what did Chrissy Sides do? She puts Caitlin back as the primary ball handler, puts Erica Wheeler on the bench, brings Kelsey Mitchell back in the game, and then they start balling again. They start making shots again, and they look a whole lot better. And to be honest with you, yes, I do believe that the Phoenix Mercury was playing terrible. And yes, I did think that that the Indiana Fever could have put in their bench players, but Erica Wheeler was not it. They were playing slow basketball, and they weren't really moving the ball like that. And so Chrissy's eyes made a change, and then they look good. They look good from there on out. They ultimately finished the game with the win, 95-86. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of people talking about stat padding, and guys, I do not think that Caitlin Clark was stat padding. So towards the end of the game, when there was like a couple seconds left to go, and Caitlin Clark passed the basketball to Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah tried to get a mid-range jumper to go. She misses the shot. A lot of people are calling that. Not a lot of people. People are calling that stat padding. I don't believe that was stat padding. I think that was just her recognizing the fact that there was more than 24 seconds left on the shot clock, and they had to shoot. So Aaliyah Boston was open. So hey, give her the ball and see if she can hit that shot. I don't think that was stat padding, but some of y'all do. So, to each his own opinion, I guess. There's a lot of accusations of stat padding. A lot of people are saying the Angel is stat padding. You got people saying that Caitlin Clark is stat padding. Guys, stats are stats. And hey, I don't think it's stat padding. I think the goal of teams is to win, is not for individual glory. So I don't think it really is about. I don't think they were stat padding. I don't think they were stat padding today. I don't. But Caitlin Clark did finish the game with 20 points in this one, 13 assists. I really do think she could have went for more than 18 assists in this game. Because she was on fire in that first quarter. On fire. Like seriously, like on fire. And she slowed down mainly because the offense slowed down. Players started missing a little bit more shots. But yeah, I thought ultimately she was fantastic in this one. 20 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, might I add, 6 turnovers, so a 1 steal. Really, I think extremely awesome play from Caitlin Clark. And once again, she is, for me right now, Caitlin Clark is back in the lead for Rookie of the Year. She's back in the lead for Rookie of the Year because of her last 2 game performances. Kelsey Mitchell. Y'all, Kelsey Mitchell was fire. She is straight up fire. I love to see it. She was fantastic today. Shooting from the 3, cutting to the paint. A lot of her shots were actually in the restricted area. The reason why is because she was cut into the basket, and there was nobody there to really block her shot like that for this Phoenix Mercury. So Kelsey Mitchell got a whole bunch of easy baskets. All right. PGL says is welcoming Jess Chris to watching your first basketball game tonight. Oh wait, what? Okay, was that a joke? I don't know. Lots of y'all. There's a lot of y'all in the chat talking. Marvin says, Quita, they don't have to shoot. Sometimes they let the clock run out. I think Caitlin did not want to get another turnover in the box score. I think that's also another reason why she passed the ball to Aaliyah Boston, because she did not want to get another turnover. So yeah, those are my thoughts. But I'm very curious to see what y'all have to say. Let me know in the chat what y'all thought about this game. Overall, I thought it was a really good game. I thought the Indiana Fever played well. almost laid an egg at the end of the game, but to me that was a coaching error in terms of not putting the right personnel on the floor, I would say. But Kelsey Mitchell on fire again. She did her thing. 28 points in this one. Caitlin Clark did her thing as well. 20 points, 13 assists. Aaliyah Boston continues to do her thing. I feel like Aaliyah Boston didn't start cooking until Brittany Griner came out of the game. And once Brittany Griner came out, Aaliyah Boston started cooking on Natasha Mack. Started cooking. 21 points for her. 13 rebounds. She did get a double-double. Nilissa Smith also got a double-double. 14 points, 10 rebounds. So 3 players for the Indiana Fever had double-doubles. Caitlin, Aaliyah, and Nilissa. Katie Lou Samuelson played all right. She had 6 points in this one. 5 rebounds. Demiris Dantas barely played in this one. Lexi Hull played some decent minutes in this one. In this game, she had 20 minutes in this one. I would have loved to have seen Grace Berger play in this game. Especially in that fourth quarter, the minutes that Erica Wheeler got. Personally, I would have loved to have seen Grace Berger get in the game. Now, guys, as you may know, I'm a Grace Berger fan. I do believe that she has a role with this team. Yes, she has not played the best this season. However, I do believe she has a lot to offer. I really do. So, that's something. But guys, the big news about this game is that there are a lot of players for the Phoenix Mercury injured, and 2 of them are on the Olympic roster. So what does this mean? What does this mean for the Olympics? We still don't know. Right now, there are 3 players injured right now. You have Nafisa Collier, who plays for the Minnesota Lynx. She is injured. She's on the team on the Olympic team. We have Diana Taurasi injured, and we have Brittany Griner now injured. So how long are they going to be hurt for? Are they going to be on the Olympics? Are we going to see replacement players? That is something that is still TBD right now, and we're going to see. We're ultimately going to see what happens very, very, very soon. But guys, good game. Indiana Fever do come out on top. Shout out to Celeste Taylor, who got cut and stayed with it. Her agent was working, and we ultimately see her get signed on a 7-day contract with the Phoenix Mercury, considering the fact that she has not played with a pro team in a long while. I think she played well. I really do. Yes, she did get cooked at times. Yes, she did. But the fact that she was back on the court, she gave them positive minutes. She was passing the ball really well. She was rebounding the basketball. She was trying to not be a liability. And again, guys, she didn't know any of the plays. She just got signed this morning. Played this afternoon, and I thought she played well, considering having those things in mind. I thought she played well. But guys, thank y'all so much for watching. I really do appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me. My name is Quita, and I make content all about women's basketball all day, every day, because that's what I love to do. I love to talk about the game of women's basketball. If y'all want to rock with me, I ask that y'all please subscribe to the channel. Also hit that like button as well. That would be pretty awesome. Now, guys, again, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. If y'all want, I would highly recommend y'all join me on Patreon. It's patreon.com/Quita Loves Sports. That'd be really, really awesome. But again, guys, I mean, that's the game. That is the game. Another game in the books, another W in the books for the Indiana Fever. They are 9-14 on the season so far. So good game. I'm sorry, 10-14 now. 10-14 after this game. And the Phoenix Mercury are 12-11 on the season so far. So again, guys, thank y'all so much. Thank you, William. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, CAC. Thank you, B-Ma. Thank you, Row 2. Thank you, Bad Betty. Appreciate you so much. Guys, I really do love doing these live streams with y'all. It's really fun. It's really, really fun. WK says, what happened to Brittany Griner? Well, Kalia Copper collided with Brittany Griner. Brittany fell, came up limping, and did not return back to the game. I mean, she was on the, I believe she returned to the bench, but she didn't come back in terms of playing. Until next time, guys. Goodbye.